Hello everyone. I survived. That's all I can say right now. I survived. So we are going to play this game again, and we are going for the Miku route today. The proper route that I wanted to go for before I was interrupted by, everything else. So yeah, let's begin. Let's start another new game. And this time, I was having that dream once again. So the choices to get to the Miku route, I have the first two memorized. It's no, I'll stay here, I believe is the first one. So yeah, I'm gonna stay here. Sorry. Every time it's so hard to decide on the answer. So here we go, we teleport, day one, we're here. We're at the camp. Let me go to my guide really quick. Cause I'm doing this right, guys. I'm not messing around here. So meet Slavia, reply, do not reply. I'm gonna avoid every other thing, every other route. So do not reply. Sorry, Slavia, but nope. I was frozen in astonishment. The girl looked perfectly normal, just like an ordinary human, but I still could not utter a single word. It's too late to run. Did I say something wrong? It took a monumental effort to answer. Yeah. What? Oh, nothing. I mean, I've just arrived, I replied quickly, beginning to worry that I might have blurted out something wrong. All right, then. Welcome. Happiness, bathing suit, stuff, electronic. Run away from Alyssa. Wait, what? Run after him. Is that the same as running after Alyssa? Or running away from Alyssa? Let's try run after him. I decided that I had no wish to come across this aggressive Alyssa girl again and darted after electronic. Running to the square, I lost sight of him, but that wasn't chasing me either. However, I really should not risk calling her that, even in my mind. After catching my breath, I wondered why I had reacted like that. Alright, she is a girl, an aggressive one, but why run away? Failing to find a good answer, I sat down on a bench and stared at the monument to Genda. This time I will not take the cutlet. Sorry, little girl, but that cutlet's all yours. Ha 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 ha. See, I don't have it. And indeed, Olyana's plate was empty. It seemed that this little girl eats as fast as she steals someone's cutlets. Take it easy, we'll work something out now. She grabbed my plate and ran off. Oh god. So this is important. Take the keys? Yes. I'd better take them. I'll give them back tomorrow because stuff happens and whatever. I'm gonna keep silent this time. I'm pretty sure I praised the book last time. Honestly speaking, I haven't read it, but I think that literature suits her very well. Oh, maybe I did choose it last time. Day 2, I'm a young guy. We go do things, we're at the lineup. Alright, let's see. So I guess I just do everything normal here. Let's do meet Shurik first. So clubs. Yeah, let's meet Shurik. Then the music club. I don't think we do anything special here. Yep, hi Miku, what's up? Then library. And then infirmary. And then we go get the cards. That's like the first rule, get cards, alright? Go get the cards alone. I'll go get them. I'm gonna save it here just in case. Save, we're gonna save here. This is the Miku slot. Welcome to the Miku slot, everyone. Hope you all enjoy. I'll go get them. Bet with Alyssa. I'm gonna do no. Does it matter if I even, like, win or lose the card game at all? I don't think so. Alright, I don't think it matters, so do not bet. Get out of here. No, I'm not going to participate in your shady business. We talk to them. Skip the tutorial. Skip the tournament. Lose against... We're going to lose against Lena. It's so frustrating to lose anyway. I left the canteen. Where should I head to? I don't think it matters. So... Boathouse. I think the boathouse has no, like, things on it. So we'll just go to the boathouse. I decided to go to the pier. The sun was still gleaming. Yeah, this is new. The sun was still gleaming slightly above the horizon, and the river in the distance boasted all the different shades of red. Hello, Selene. Welcome to the stream. How are you? Selene, today promises to be a good day today. I am doing the Miku route, and it's gonna be fun. Hello there. MTZ Gamer. How is life? How are you? Are you guys ready for the Miku route? If you're ready, then show a random emote. It's up to you. The sun was still gleaming slightly above the horizon, and the river in the distance boasted all the different shades of red, yellow, and orange. The water seemed to be blazing with flames. I kept staring at it and kept staring as it got weaker until it completely settled. There you go. Selene is not ready. Well, you can do this, Selene. You gotta psych yourself up. You gotta smack your face a little bit and you'll be ready. Hello, Carisoro. Carisoro, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Are you ready for the Miku route as well? Because I'm ready. For the first time today, I finally felt how tired I was. Talking. We're gonna... breakfast with Xenia. Fine, wait a minute. I'm not sure why, but I accepted the invitation. Whoops. Yeah, skip all this. Help Lena tonight? No. Go take a look? No, look for answers. I don't think anything matters on this day for the Miku route. Like, it doesn't matter what I do or whatever. Who cares? Let's see, the guys. I'm gonna help the guys with their giant robot engineering. That's a new option. Well, they might not be so giant after all. That was surely a hard decision to make. Indeed, is there any reason to spend extra time with weird chaps fond of early to mid-20th century sci-fi? But what if I manage to find out something useful from them? At least I can try. Standing on the threshold of the clubhouse, I hesitated for a while. Finally, all my doubts were swept aside. I opened the door and went in. Click, click. Electronic and Shurik were bending over the table, studying something closely. Hi there, Cyberneticics. How's it going? I was itching to behave as friendly as I could. Hi, we were waiting for you. How did you know you were going to say that? Electronic obviously intended to be called the Oracle. So what do you need? You'll help us to complete the robot. No way. That's out of my league. Don't worry, we'll show you around. The more you hate me, the more you will learn. I'm a hard man. But I am fair. Electronic joined in cheerfully. There's more to life than fun and games, dude. There's a topic to discuss. I've got a question, and you seem to have an answer. What's the question? He inquired guardingly. Do you think it's possible to travel in time? Why would you think such a thing? Electronic suddenly became serious. It's not only my idea. I took a book from the library yesterday, The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. You must have read it, so, well, I'm thinking it over. What's with the resolution? It should be fine. Is everyone else having resolution problems? Try refreshing, Kurosoro. Maybe that. Maybe that. That's all I can say, maybe that. Wanna leap to the future, see how life is there? Nah, not really. I'm more interested in traveling back in time. Why is that? I don't know. Why not? Well, and what do you think about it? General relativity theory posits the existence of wormholes, also known as tunnels in space. But if you wouldn't understand it all anyway, I bet I won't. Anyway, in such a supposition, we'll encounter a whole bunch of paradoxes. The dark indent? Hang on. What are you guys talking about? What's going on? For example, if you travel to the past and kill yourself, then that would mean that you from the present won't be able to exist. Well, it seems so. In a nutshell, it's all too unscientific. I see, but what if it would be possible? I mean, do I need some kind of machine, a device, or a program to get to the past? Or is it enough to just fall asleep in the wrong place and wake up in another time in reality? I'm sure that modern science has no answer for your question yet. Resolution. It's fine on my screen, guys. I'm not sure how to change the resolution at all. Try going to settings and do, like, quality or something. That's the best I can help you with, I'm sorry. I'm not a tech person. Oh, yep, he sounds just like Popular Mechanics magazine. I've seen a couple of issues lying around my shelves, too. Selene, are you having resolution something problems? It's not disturbing. I don't know what you guys are saying, I'm sorry. It appears that coming here was a bad idea. However, if we assume that known laws of physics are incorrect, or alternatively, the laws themselves are correct, but we don't know everything about them, then it's definitely possible. Okay. Or it could be somebody, for example, for a more advanced race of humans that possess a superior knowledge of the nature of things. Okay. They could build a time machine or travel through time by some other means. Okay. So that means that I was thrown into the past by humanity's big brothers? An interesting idea. And it seems reasonable if you think about it. And how would one find the ones you've been talking about, if you're already in the past? How on earth would we know? They both laughed loudly. Well, thanks, guys. I was about to leave. Hey, hang on, and what about our robot? I'm sure that everything will be just fine with it. This junior cybernetics argument was quite logical, but alas, I wasn't an inch closer to solving the mystery of my arrival in this world. I strolled around the camp for some time and then headed to the canteen. Talk fast, oh god, it's so going so fast. Clean with Ilyana. I think it's faster if I do the Ilyana thing, so we're gonna do that. Just fast forward. Blah 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 blah. Doopa doopa doo. The ball happens. Slavia went back to the dance floor. I sat down a little longer and slipped away to make sure no one noticed me. I totally didn't want to see anyone after such a successful dancing. The most quiet place here is the bus station, which might never be visited by the route again. But I let out a scream. There was a bus right in front of me, just like the one on the first day. I was petrified. How? What? How? Why? And once I remembered all my theories about getting to this camp, I was struck by the realization that during these last few days, I'd gotten so used to local life that I had started to forget that the things happening here were really not normal. I just stood there and watched the damned Icarus. Then I slapped my hands to my cheeks to be sure that it is not an illusion. The bus was still there. If it is here, then it is time to go home. Sayonara, pioneers! I rushed to the door. I came to my senses on the ground. My nose hurt like hell. I stood up and tried to understand what's going on. It seemed like I bumped into something. The bus was more than real to the touch. I tried to reach my hand out through the door, but there was some kind of invisible wall. I was overwhelmed by a nearly animalistic fear. Fear of everything. The camp, its inhabitants, and this bus. How the hell did I even get here? What is this damn Icarus I can't enter? Why is this happening to me? Suddenly, a strong unbalancing wind blew. I turned around and saw a little piece of paper under the wheel of the bus. Something was written on it. Ah! You are here for a reason. You are here for a reason. The band handwriting seemed familiar. I certainly have seen it somewhere. It dawned upon me. I took a small charcoal from the ground and scribbled the same sentence on the backside. The handwriting was identical. My head cleared. I have sent a message to myself from the future. That's it. Or not. From the past. Damn, I don't understand anything. In any case, that was my handwriting. It certainly was not hard to forge it, but I was sure that I had written that message myself. After turning that piece of paper over in my hands, I decided to try to entering the bus one more time. So beautiful game. Hello. Solen. I can't read the whole name, but hello. Welcome to the stream. How are you? I hope you're having a lovely day. Let me try and read the full name. Solenter. How are you? What's up? Hope you're doing well. And Selene said that she's here for a reason. That's right. After turning that piece of paper over in my hands, I decided to try entering the bus one more time. I'm doing the Miku route, by the way. Well, you might already know that because of the title of the video. The invisible wall was still there. I circled all around the Icarus, tapping at the wheels, peeked inside through the window. Everything looked absolutely normal. Just climb on the bus. Then you can just hang on, you know? But in reality, it wasn't. Heavy stones just bounced off the glass without visible damage. No effect, not even a scratch. I sat down on the curb, and sighed weakly. If you think about it, that piece of paper hinted at something. And it seems that this situation won't do me any harm. Sambion! Seems like the leader is looking for me. Interesting. What will she say about the bus now? Would she still insist that it won't be coming for a few days? I jumped up and ran towards the sound of Olga's voice. So what do you say about that? I blurted out triumphantly and waved my hand toward the road. Before I continue... So let's see. So that... Alright, I can return to my chat room for a while. Everyone can chat freely amongst yourselves. Everyone in chat, tell me your favorite, I don't know, character in this game. Tell me your favorite character. Yeah, who's your favorite character, route, or whatever? Say about what? She replied in surprise. I turned around. The bus had disappeared, as sudden as it appeared. Lena? MZ Gamer says Lena. Well, you're in luck, because after... Well, no, I'm gonna do the characters in order. So Lena will be second to after... will be after Slavia. Slavia will be next, guys, but Miku is right now. The cry of triumph died in my throat. Selene does not know yet. I'll say Ulyana for now. It's time to sleep already. Let's go. But, what? The bus. There was a bus just a moment ago. The bus couldn't be here, she said calmly. I stared at Olga's face. She was either skillfully lying or really didn't see anything. Then is it me who might be seeing things? It can't be true. I really saw that damned 410. Quit lying. I said quietly. Semyon, I don't understand. Stop lying to me. There was a bus. It's you. You're keeping me here. Why? I gritted my teeth, but tried to speak with a calm voice. You're scaring me. Time to go to bed. I won't get anything from her as usual. Seriously, though, I really wanted to sleep. I walked swiftly past the leader, deliberately not paying attention to her. I couldn't fall asleep for quite some time and only had the crumpled piece of paper with the words, "You're here for a reason," reminded me that the events of these 3 days were real. Miku will take some time. Get ready for a ride. I'm ready for a ride. I am ready. Let's go on a ride, guys. What do you say? Ride? Ride. Good night, everyone. Good morning. Whoa. Noise. Don't do that. A hellish cracking in my head woke me up. My skull felt like somebody was blowing on it from the inside. I rubbed my eyes, saw the ringing alarm clock on the bedside table, knocking it off, and dozed off again. Good night again. Good morning. When I woke up, it was already 8:45. Looks like it's time to wake up. I can't miss my breakfast. I got up, scratched myself, and suddenly remembered last evening. There was a piece of paper under the pillow. You are here for a reason. I still don't get it. What does it mean? How did I manage to send a message to myself? Why don't I remember that? More questions than answers. No answers at all, to be precise. I left the cabin and looked over the camp. No, it doesn't look like an illusion. But this memo, it made everything much more complicated. What can I trust? My stomach growled treacherously. Even Agent Mulder didn't conduct investigations hungry. There was unexpected crowd near the canteen. Of course, there was no other place in camp that pioneers loved as much as the canteen. But why were they all crowding on the porch? I came closer to understand what was going on. It looked like all the camp had gathered at the porch. They were all the familiar girls. Olga and Electronic. Fast. Yeah, fast. Beach. Booty. Beach. Bus stop, right. Bus stop. The bus stop seemed to be a fine choice. Fast. Let me do this right. I'm not gonna mess this up now. Go with Miku. Yeah. You know it. Alright, now let me go back. Go back to my chat room. My loving chat room. On the other hand, I'm not losing anything. However, she dragged me along with her. Fast, moving fast. MTZ Gamer, hi. I know. I'm doing this right. I don't care what anyone says. If I have to cheat, then so be it. Alright, let me do this right now. Lana in infirmary. Just asking. Overdose of stolen candies, right? She gave me a baleful look. No, I left everything for you. Olyana ran out of the infirmary and slammed the door. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Ask about the bundle. Nope. Wait, yes? Ask about bundle, I guess. Yeah. Don't give her the carbon. And finally, eat an apple. Eat the apple. Do not eat the apple. No! Even assuming that this is a normal apple, in any case, I shouldn't eat unwashed fruits. Fast! So, all I have to do now, let me read this. If you select all the correct answers for Mikuro, turn left or right a couple of times in the mine. And I think I go alone. I'm pretty sure I need to go alone here, so I'm gonna go alone, guys. Am I going there alone? Alone? Yep. You confirmed it. Thank you. Thank you, good sir. You are a gentleman and a scholar. Am I going there alone? I'm gonna save it here. Save. Back. Olga looked thoughtfully. Perhaps you're right. We'll go together tomorrow morning. We stood in silence for some time, then dispersed around the camp. Everybody seemingly forgot about Alyssa and her terrorist act, maybe due to the minor damage it caused. Together with the camp leader, I went toward our cabin. I tried to think of why Sherrick would go to the old camp. He is interested in robots and cybernetics, not scary stories and ghosts. What does that boot have to do with that? I remember how I decided to wait until something extraordinary would happen, and then I realized this is it. Olga, I think I'll take a walk before bed. Just not a long one. Okay. When I reached the square, I understood that hanging around in the forest or some other strange place may not be that scary, but doing so in the dark, I didn't want to return to Olga's cabin, but I had to find a flashlight. For instance, there was one in the infirmary. I was glad I didn't spend my whole time there reading the fashion magazine. The flashlight was found quickly, and in a few minutes I was again standing at the square, pulling myself together. I just had to make the final decision before I entered the forest, moving past the pioneers' cabins down the forest path towards the abandoned camp. I set forth. Electronic told me that the old building was built immediately after the war. It looked like a kindergarten or like a barracks, I expected, and I definitely could hold fewer pioneers than today's camp. It had been abandoned for about 20 years. Got that, guys? 20 years, not 30. It was now totally dark. The forest looked totally different at night. Mysterious shadows were totally hiding behind the trees. Strange rustling and the cries of night birds coming out from totally everywhere. Branches totally treacherously snapping under my totally feet. I'm sorry, guys. The full moon was shining, so I decided to save the battery in the flashlight. I'm sure I will need it sometime soon. The further I moved, the more unpleasant the thoughts came into my head. I wasn't afraid of the dark at all. I didn't believe in ghosts and other mystical crap, but at the same time, during the last few days I'd encountered so many incomprehensible phenomena that against my own will I started to read between the lines of the simplest things. Obviously, I felt exceptionally uneasy in the forest at night. Everywhere I looked, every shadow, every tree or bush looked like weird creatures, escaping straight from horror movies or from Stephen King novels. A branch seemed to be someone's hand, eager to grab your shoulder. A fallen log, someone's dead body. Someone who just failed to get out of the forest. In every gully I saw a bottomless abyss. Do I need to read this? Because really, we've seen this already. Basically, we know it's an old camp. We get there. It's very scary. It reminds me of that one school from Corpse Party, except it's smaller. The grass is massive. The moon looked out from behind the clouds. Everything came to life. Laughter, chill. Oh, don't. No. None of that laughter, please. I'm here to find Sherrick, though I still don't get what he might be doing here if he is here. Why is he here? Who knows? All I know is that he needs to not be here. Read it's new. But, what are we learning from this, though? Like, we've seen this already, you know? Like, what are we learning that's different? Inside the building, it looked like a typical kindergarten. I still remembered my childhood days, and so everything here looked very familiar. Sleeping room with lines of beds standing close to each other, a large playroom, toilets, a dining room, and utility rooms. Signs of the past children's joy were seen everywhere. From time to time, the flashlight drew my attention to a decaying doll or a plastic toy car. I saw that already. Book on the table, faded with age. The ending starts here. The ending starts here, you say. I flipped through a few pages. It was a story I read a long time ago, back in my childhood. Something about the war. Enemies destroyed the kindergarten and all of its kids hid in the little basement together with a bunch of adults, while bombs were exploding up on the surface. I don't remember the end of the story, but as far as I remember, nobody died. Looking at the illustrations, all the emotions, yeah. Strange under these conditions, right here and now, that I found this book. Probably there is someone who manages this ongoing story, who writes the scenario for this absurd play, who sews costumes for the local pioneers and creates sets like this abandoned camp. To tell the truth, he is very talented. Attention is paid to even the most minor of details. Although this place was abandoned a long time ago, everything here just seemed to be untouched. Of course, time didn't spare this camp, so in so many years it had often been visited by the locals. A perfect place for young people just hitting puberty. They could drink alcohol, indulge in amorous pleasures, or simply burn everything down just for fun. Electronic mentioned this place is full of legends of ghosts and devils living here. Take for example the story about the camp leader who committed suicide. In my world, yeah, this is real life. Like, I don't care. The fear didn't disappear. The building was small, so it was difficult to search it completely. But I didn't find any signs of Shurik. Maybe I should just call out to him. But on the other hand, maybe that's not such a good idea. Sat on the bench in the lobby inside. Ghost, where are you? I asked the camp. I noticed a small depression in the corner. So yeah, we find the trap door. We need to be scared. Shurik went down there. We got it. It's fine. Whoa! Loud noise. There was a ladder going down a couple of meters, ending in a concrete floor. Yeah, this is stuff we know, guys. This is stuff we know, don't worry. I swore loudly and began to descend. God flipping, flick it, dang it. That's what he said just there. Downstairs it was so dark that even the flashlight didn't help much. Low ceiling, it's explaining the thing, guys, but we know the thing. We've seen this, except we're not with Ulyana here. There's no Ulyana, so we're moving deeper, went down. We saw this already. This is all details we know about. If I'm missing stuff, guys, just let me know, alright? Like, if there's any info I need to know here that I'm missing, just tell me, alright? Tell me what the info is. Open the door. Bang! Shut with a sharp sound as soon as I step through the doorway. That's scary. My vision dimmed, regained consciousness after a few seconds. We're in this room. I found myself in quite a spacious room. A bunk bed, some cabins along the walls, the stuff we know already as well. Bomb shelter, no one came here, the beds were made, which is strange. We look down the room. Gas mask, chemical protection suits, dry rations, the devices which I at first could determine the purpose. What? Could I at first? Which I at first? What does that mean? Typical bomb shelter. Never been in such a place before, except the last 2 times. Pulled the handle, the door remained closed. I called out in a whisper, Shurik! No reply. Maybe he locked himself out. But why? It was unclear what I should do next. Smarter to come back tomorrow with help. But no, Shurik is down here for sure. Yeah, remember last time I think Ulyana found the I found the crowbar. Ulyana tried to open the door. Bang. I took a deep breath and pointed the flashlight down the passage. The corridors pretty much. Let me save the game one more time. Yeah, save game. This is it, guys. If I do this right, then, good stuff happened. The walls were closing in. Walk carefully. Hole. Wasn't too deep. And this is it. This is where I gotta go left and right a couple of times. That's what the guide said. Did everyone leave? I think everyone left, guys. Shoot. Who's still here right now? The tunnel was so long that my flashlight was insufficient. A few minutes later, I found myself at the crossroads. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Crossroads. Too dangerous to go any further. I could get lost. Yeah. Mark the place. So, You guys are always here. Gotcha. Thank you for sticking around. I know I'm skipping a lot of dialogue, but I just want to see Miku out. I just want to see the Miku, you know? You guys said that it was scary. I want to see how it's scary. What? Oh. Day ... Because sometimes a dream is just a dream. One doesn't have to look it up on the internet, searching for an interpretation of a dream that invaded your dream world in such an rude manner. One doesn't have to assume that it's a sign, a prophecy, a prediction of the future. The ending starts here. Is there a bad Miku ending, or good, or whatever? Or is it just one Miku ending? We're already there, Gray Pioneer. Oh boy, I'm ready, guys. Sometimes a dream is just a dream, a beautiful story that is not just going to happen in your life. No bad ending? Alright, gotcha. A fairy tale sketched by your resting brain and painted by your imagination. Sometimes a dream is just a dream, even if it comes in several parts. No bad, no good. Damn, I'm so tired of this. Masha? Who's Masha? Huh? I raised my hands and saw a girl hanging over me. What exactly are you tired of? Everything. It's not like someone made you do this, or is still making you. Well, it's not that simple. Oh, it is indeed quite that simple. Damn, you're always... Stop chatting, come on, get to work. A voice that would brook no objections came from far away. The bus became empty in an instant. The girl I was arguing with sulked like a child, turned abruptly, clicked her heels, and headed to the exit. Her name was Masha. Okay, you ready? A woman appeared. Her face simultaneously expressed agony to the fates of the whole of humanity, arrogance, concentration, and fatigue. Yeah, sure. Excellent. Then, action! I didn't even realize when she left the bus and a camera appeared pointing at me. I shut my eyes. That's right, I must be sleeping according to the script. How long must I sit like that? 10 seconds? 20? That should be enough. I slowly opened my eyes and started to sweep the bus with an ignorant look. That's it. I haven't got the slightest idea why I am here. What is this, an Icarus? But why? So I have to put on the most surprised face that I've ever done. I should imagine that I'm sitting in a toilet reading a book and the door suddenly swings open and I see Jean Reno with a gun. Reno with a gun, I don't know who that is. Pardon me if you don't mind that I'm, pardon my French, doing number 2 here. He would surely be surprised. I just couldn't bear it and laughed out loud. Stop, yelled the director. It's an outrage. We've already been shooting for a week, but we've still got less than nothing. She jumped close to me. What's the matter this time? You know, well, she would hardly appreciate my story about Jean Reno. I'm sorry. It was hard to look her in the eyes. It wasn't like I was really worried about me messing up yet another take, but mainly because I was afraid to break into laughter again. Okay, lunch break. Our director took off her Panama hat and began to fan herself with it. It's so hot. Well, it's summer after all. Sure, it came out of thin air, proving himself to be quite observant. Duh, blockhead, you better take care of the camera. What's going on, guys, by the way? What is this? Shurik calmly dodged the Panama that was thrown at him and went back to his camera. He's always like that. Calm, wise, and boring, dull, and quite predictable. I got out of the bus and headed to the canteen to grab a bite. And ran into Masha at the doors. Strange things? Yeah, I guess. I bet. So, nothing. No surprise. Want to have something to eat? She stared at me for some time with an uncomprehending look. Okay, let's go. It's strange. Seems that Masha had already visited the canteen. What is it? What is it? Didn't she have time to have her lunch? I examined her thoroughly from behind. Her double ponytails were really long and dangled from side to side, now and then hitting whatever they encountered on the way. At first you didn't realize WTF is going on there. Yeah? At first I don't know what the heck is going on here either. And I still don't know. Me. Are you sure that you're comfortable with your hair like that? I asked Masha when we've sat down at the table. Why is her name Masha, by the way, and not Miku? What's the problem? Well, they're kinda way too long, no? It's a part of my character, dork. As if they were any shorter before that. She threw an angry glance at me and proceeded to violently stir the contents of her packet of instant noodles. One day I'm gonna get gastritis. Thanks to this diet, I already got it. Okay, oh sure, I bet you already drunk all the stage props together with these guys. In the ending, it will be told. Okay, good. In that case, let's all sit down, grab a glass of anything that you like, and let's enjoy the story. And what's wrong with that? I'm not paid for this work, just so you know, and it's hard, the leading role, after all. I don't drink the cameras and filming tape. Oh, it's like you're going for an Oscar. Who knows? I reclined on the chair and lit up a cigarette. Just for your information, it's a children's camp here, in case you've forgotten. Yeah, you see any kids around? Masha just sniffed and didn't reply. And by the way, all the great ones had to start with something. Some of them, for instance, started with a graduation project. Not a single sane human would ever think of shooting such wild garbage. She gazed warily around with an intimidated look, making sure that nobody except us was at the canteen, and continued. Only our Olga would. It's not like someone made you do it. Oh yeah? Masha said slowly with bitterness in her voice. Like I had any choice, or you did, or anyone else. Well, for starters, you could have proposed another subject. To propose a subject? What subject? All this time Masha had been sprinkling salt over her noodle cup, and it seemed she wasn't going to stop. I see you like it spicy. What? I directed my gaze at her cup. Damn. She slammed the salt shaker down the table, and sadly dropped her eyes to the small hail of salt that, like an iceberg fighting global warming, just refused to dissolve in the broth. Oh, come on! I suddenly felt sorry for Masha. Anyway, I could hardly digest this crap. Sandwiches are way better. Here! I pushed my bowl in her direction. She took it silently and began to eat. Won't you even thank me? But it's completely your fault. What exactly? You distracted me and Anyway, it's your fault. Whatever. Masha kept eating in silence. I finished smoking and stubbed the cigarette out of the corner of the table. What exactly don't you like about it? Well, it's actually fine. You get used to it. Lovely noodles. I looked at Masha in a way that made clear exactly how silly and irrelevant her answer was. Ah, you're talking about the movie. About the movie. Take my character, for example. Although never mind using it as an example, it's the worst part of the script. Were you even reading this as you wrote it? For the first 2 days, then laziness took over. Well, I read it. So what? Does it seem normal to you? What exactly? Character. My character. What's the problem with it? I decided to play the fool till the end. Stop mocking me. If looks could kill, my death would have been a pretty painful one. Alright. Calm down. Masha fixed her gaze on me. What's the matter with your character? Just a normal retarded girl. Jeez. There are so many around anyway, no? She turned red at first, then blue, then she turned green. I am not sure that the changing of colors on her face during a fraction of a second was really like that, but either way, Masha looked scary. You know, that's disgusting, she said, suddenly getting a grip. I think it's perfectly normal. The cast of a movie, or a book for that matter, can consist only of cute, smart, and sexy characters. We still need supporting roles. Supporting, but not retarded. It's not like we don't encounter them in real life. But I'm not like that. You're not playing yourself after all. Her stubbornness started to get on my nerves. People will watch it and say, Masha is a retard. I covered my face with my hands and pulled my head down on the table. Okay, and what do you suggest now? I don't know. Everything is just bad. Will it get better if you keep crying and moaning? I'm not moaning. Oh, like I can't hear it. Well, I would prefer if I couldn't. You know what? I opened one eye and looked at the enraged Masha. What? You're just an insensitive bastard. As you say, mademoiselle. And... She didn't manage to finish the phrase. The door burst open and a cheerful shout reached us. Masha-nyan, Semyon-kun. Oh, here comes another raving lunatic. Oh Lord, what have I done wrong? I turned my head and glanced skeptically at the girl who ran into the canteen. Sasha. One of the main characters. What do you mean Sasha? That's Slavia. If we compared Sasha in real life with the character she's going to play, then Masha's words about the injustice of this world don't seem that meaningless. Yeah. What's going on, guys? What is going on? However, on the bright side, one can't ignore Sasha's acting talent. She really becomes a totally different person on the screen. I told you like 1,000 times, don't you ever call me Masha-nyan. Masha gritted her teeth. Masha-nyan. Okay then it would be Mashyan. Can I? Sasha snatched the chair, moved it closer, and sat beside me. Freaking cuckoo. Cuckoo? How do people like that enter college in the first place? Nya, what are you talking about? Sasha seemed to ignore Masha's opinion of her professional impropriety. Oh, we were just discussing what exactly Masha Nyan doesn't like about our script. Just you wait till I beat the neon out of you! She tried to land a punch in my forehead, but I dodged, and her fist slammed down on the table. Sasha gave a brief cry and started shivering. See how discontented she is? A curious young mind which doesn't seek any compromise, ready for long, painstaking work, for self-sacrifice and denial of the fragile material world. And all for what? For the truth. Wow, you're so smart, Sasha murmured and hugged my arm. Too bad you are not. No, you're hopeless. I'll take that as a compliment. Masha fetched her phone out of her pocket and checked the time. Okay, time to get going. Where are you going? You only appear starting day 2. It's you who should get going, dork. Me too. Sasha jumped around, still clinging to my arm. I guess so. I got up, pushed the chair back under the table, and looked over at Masha. See you! Oh, get going. She snorted and turned away. Itekimasu. Get lost, Sue. Just as that reached my ear, Sasha shot past me with an empty noodle package trailing in her wake. I was sitting on the bus, flipping through the script lazily. So which idiot wrote this? Oh yeah, that would be me. I pull aside the stack of sloppily stapled printed pages and fix my gaze outside the window. Indeed, it was really hot. Even without Shurek being Captain Obvious, it was hot. Let's take this asphalt, for example. It doesn't give a damn that just yesterday it was winter according to the script. You know it has to be melting right here and now. And the grasshoppers don't care, they just keep rehearsing. By the way, which of them do the chirping? Is it the crickets or the grasshoppers? Or cicadas? Tell us my theories. I have none right now. Maybe this isn't like an alternate universe. Maybe I wrote a script for a thing, and Sasha, like, Masha plays Miku, and Sasha plays Slavia. That's my guess right now. Something tells me there'll be a Olyasha, who will play Olyana, a Lenasha, who plays Lena, and a Alicia, who plays Alyssa. And Catgirl, that plays Catgirl or something. I don't know. Don't screech. Damn, I don't even have any internet handy for a quick check. Though, why would I? The script is all agreed on and approved, and it can't be edited at all. And anyway, who would care about the grasshoppers in our movie? Although it would be a splendid idea for shooting a horror flick with the spirits of 50s US B movies. Like, for example, My Cousin is a Grasshopper, or The Cricket Day, One Flew Over the Cicada's Nest. If I have to spend 5 more minutes here, I'm gonna turn into an insect myself. Oh, why were there no air conditioners in old Soviet buses? Hey, hello, anyone home? Olga's name is normal. A loudspeaker was pointed at me right behind it as I recognized the face of Olga through the melting air. Please leave your message after that. I felt a blow. Hey, you can't just smack the protagonist like that. Have you even read my tour writer? Shut up! This has to be the last take in the bus. I wanted this pretty bad myself. After all, it's better to be outside than stuck in this moving man-melter. Shirk's camera was hanging over me. I acted as if I was really desperate about what's going on. Raged across the bus, dashed outside, ran all around it, and finally collapsed down the sidewalk. Cut! Olga smiled approvingly. Well, seems like you are able to do it when you really want to. Sure, it seems that will is the most important thing. And now, meeting Slavia. A break, maybe? Rooter prayed. What? Rooter? We ain't here for a vacation. Off you go to your camera. He hung his head and shuffled off to his place. Action! I stared at the camp gates. I held my gaze on the statues of the pioneers and took a few steps forward. Sasha emerged from behind the gates. Hi, Semyon-kun. My name is Slavia. Yoroshiku-ne. A stunned silence descended upon the set. It seemed like even the grasshoppers suddenly stopped their song and looked up at Sasha with fascination. I have just one question for you. The dreadfully calm voice of Olga reached us from behind me. Have you even read the script? Sure I did. It's kind of film shooting where Semyon is a new pioneer. I gotcha. More or less I gotcha. Sure I did, but it's so boring. It was pointless to cry, swear, go into hysterics. We couldn't find another actress here. We have only 3 weeks in this camp and you... She sat down on her director's chair. So she directed it? Olga did? And began to fan herself with her Panama hat. Guys, don't you get it that we won't make it in time if we keep strolling around like this? We still have lots of stuff to shoot. Could you get at least a little more serious? It's like I'm the only one who cares. Blah. A stick certainly won't work with Sasha, so maybe that's not right. We should try a carrot instead. I'm sorry. I'll try again. You'd better. I tried hard to imagine the protagonist surveying the unknown environment as millions of theories fly through his head. He's shocked. He doesn't know what to think of it all. His brain's ready to explode. His consciousness starts to wander, and there you go. A girl, your average pioneer, appears, and she has not the slightest idea of what's happened to him. She greets the protagonist and sends him to the camp leader. I took a few steps forward, and Sasha appeared from behind the gates. You must be new here? I caught sight of the lens of the camera pointed at me from out of the corner of my eye, and tried hard to make a really surprised face. If so, you need to go to our camp leader. So you can do it if you really want to. Olga wiped the sweat from her forehead. I'm gonna turn gray before my time with all these fripperies of yours. And we still have to do the editing. Ha! She checked her watch. Okay, let's call it a day. I hardly call myself a workaholic, but even if I felt that it's way too early to stop, given that we're already falling badly behind schedule, don't you think that... I do, but I feel absolutely done. As you wish. I shrugged and headed into the camp. Evening was closing in. Tonight I was dining with Masha, Sasha, and Alyssa, so her name is the same. There was a huge bowl full of fried potato slices with mushrooms right in front of me. One of the perks of summer, fresh vegetables from the garden. You better show that much effort during filming. Oh, you seem to prefer instant noodles over this? What are you talking about? Sasha is a great chef, mumbled Alyssa. Didn't anyone ever tell you that it's impolite to talk with your mouth full? And you're always complaining. I'm... Sasha was about to burst into tears. Oh, Lord. Come on, chill out. Everything's delicious. Yeah, Masha, Nyan, do you want me to make something? Masha gave her such a dirty look that it became obvious, even to Sasha, that she couldn't continue. But anyway, just tell me honestly. I won't. But you don't even know what I'm about to ask you. I know. So, what's it going to be? She stared at me with a triumphant look. Why did I come up with such a rubbish script? Damn. Alyssa and Sasha laughed. Oh, I see that you're both okay with it. What's the matter? It's summer. We're surrounded by nature. There's a beach here. Everything looks great. You might as well visit Turkey. Why did you come here? Alyssa glanced at Masha blankly and started to dig into her plate. So, she pointed her fork at me. Fear not the fork but the spoon. One blow and your skull is doomed. Now you tell me, is he even normal? Semyon-kun is kawaii! Sasha hugged my arm and nodded vigorously. What's the matter anyway? He just got us a free vacation. I don't understand what I am even doing here. Well, it's not like anyone's holding you here, I said coldly. Oh, if only what I wanted mattered. And you, what are you doing all this time? You just kept nagging others, and yet there's still a lot of time before your appearance. According to the script, you must be preparing for the role, eh? I interrupted her. Oh, maybe I am preparing. Double standards. Triple, damn it. So what are you doing, for real? Well, what would you expect me to do? Me? Nothing, just curious. Reading books, she answered timidly. And every book about how to master acting. Stop it, okay? We are sitting out here, God knows where. No internet, no phone signal, nothing at all. If I hadn't brought the mosquito repellent with me, I brought it. Yeah. Masha gave her such a look that Sasha suddenly started to take up much less space than usual. I just don't get you. What's the point of complaining all the time? You could have stayed back home. Did I even ask you? Masha got up abruptly and headed for the exit. Masha Nyan is upset, said Sasha in a depressed tone. If she got upset just now, then wait until you see what she's going to be like toward the end of the shooting. The Pioneer Chainsaw Massacre with a druzba, eh? Druzba is both friendship and Russian and fortunately a well-known brand of chainsaws. Well, that's interesting. That would be cool. That would be a good series. The Friendship Chainsaw. Curiously enough, I really couldn't comprehend why Masha keeps freaking out. Sure, since the very beginning she had no real enthusiasm for either the script or the whole idea of shooting our movie in a godforsaken pioneer camp, but still, she wasn't that aggressive. Maybe it's the heat that's to blame. Or the grasshoppers? Sure, that's it. Grasshoppers. They're giving us hell instead of a good sleep. I wish we just had a button to relieve some sort of poisonous gas, and presto! What are you thinking about? About the grasshoppers? What's wrong with them? Might as well ask what's right with them. Grasshoppers, they're not, yeah. Why? Well, they're so scary. You just don't like insects in general? Nope. Me neither. A heavy silence fell. No matter what's going on in Masha's head, at least she can always keep the conversation going. Even if it's about the grasshoppers. I imagine her talking about her hatred toward these hellish creatures who dare not only to plague this already imperfect world, but also keep chirping all night long, this time interrupting her own inner rest and gentle soul. What's wrong with grasshoppers? Olga approached her table. Ready for the night shooting? Night shooting? It's not like we've even completed the first scenes yet. And you also mentioned that we are done for today? We have to make maximum use of the time or else we won't make it at all. I couldn't say that I was completely dead tired, and besides, I had to show at least a spark of commitment to the success of my own project. Alright, what are we shooting? The night scene with Slavia in the woods. Nani nani? Sasha heard that we were discussing her character and jumped in. Just please, began Olga in a strained voice. Stick to the script this time. Wakarimashita! And stop that already. She gritted her teeth, turned around and left us. What's that scene about? Haven't you read the script at all? Of course I haven't, said Alyssa proudly. I'm more than okay with just reading the scenes where I appear. I wasn't going to trouble her with meaningless talk about the necessity of getting the whole picture to fully understand one's character. I'm watching Slavia dancing by the side of the lake in the woods. Yeah, it's so romantic. And she strips down in process. Yeah? Sasha stared at me with a look of incomprehension. The meaning of my words dawned on her after several moments. Strips? Relax, not completely. Well, if it's gonna be you, she blushed. Sure, seems like this girl has not only been watching too much anime recently, but also is not the smartest one by birth. Just why did Olga cast the characters like this? Hey, stay hydrated, bot. What's up? As for me, I'd rather cast Masha to play Slavia, and Sasha as Miku. Anyway, it's up to the director to decide, and Olga is the only director we have. Hey, how's life? Hey, Ty. How you doing? I am doing good. I am on the Miku route, Ty. So I recommend that you stay around a while and watch the loveliness of this story. Anyway, I hope you're doing good. You're fine. That's good. Attaboy. By any chance, will there be that? What? Sasha gave Alyssa a blank stare. You have no idea what this game is, but you don't care. Is that a good thing? Like, you still like it, or you don't like it? No. What do you mean, nothing at all? Not in this scene. Ah, so you will be doing that later. Alyssa showed off a sharp grin. If it sparks your curiosity so much, you should go and read the script already. Nah, I'm not curious at all. Alyssa got up from the table. Okay, I'll be going. Ahem, what was it all about? What is that? You're just here for chats and me. Aww. Well, aren't you sweet? You sweet, sweet person, you. It's nothing. Go get yourself ready. The sun's already setting. Yeah. Sasha got up and dashed to the exit. I finished my plate of potatoes and gave a heavy sigh. Like a podcast with chat. Yep. Kurisoro, yes, you are sweet too. Everyone here is sweet for sticking with me. I guess we can't just put "to be continued" at the end and turn everything into an epic saga created by the students of a third-rate local cinema and television college. Suddenly, I understood that, really, I don't care anymore. Ready? I turned back and caught a sight of Shurik. It's not like I have anything to prepare. Do you think you can manage these night shootings? Oh, somehow. Let's get going then. It's finally become colder in the evenings. Too cold, I'd say. I was sitting on a stump and trying to keep myself warm in my thin top, while others were aligning cameras and lights. Why should I be doing this stuff? It's not like I even have a part in this scene. Masha was setting up a light reflector cloth between the trees. Who else? We're always short on manpower. Well, you could bring on more people for this. Everyone would have been happy to participate in the production of such a masterpiece. Are you complaining about something? Olga gave her a menacing look. Not at all, I'm fine. Have I missed any jump scares? Nope. Besides the one before, like on the first stream, none. Not yet, nope. Oh god. Our director was probably the only person here that Masha hesitated to argue with. I wonder why. Ah! Oh, that's not a jump scare? Oh, that's just Shurik. Okay. I gotta prepare myself now. Shurik sat down next to me. What do you think? Any chances we'll get in only 2 or 3 takes? I have no idea. It's not like it depends on me. I nodded towards Sasha. She was jumping up and down energetically by the lakeside, warming up for her role. Oh, I see. Shurik heaved a doomed sigh and headed to his camera. All right, it's time. I hid myself behind a tree. Camera, action! Ah! Wait, actually, that's kind of cute. Never mind. Sasha walked past me, almost dancing. I couldn't help noticing that given all this extra lighting, combined with the moonlight, she looked plain stupid. But that's the cameraman's concern anyway. It's probably for the best. I slowly emerged from behind the tree and followed her. Sasha went slowly along the shoreline, almost hovering above the ground, taking off her neckerchief and unbuttoning her shirt on the way. In fact, it actually looked amazing. I bet she could have been a great actress of the silent cinema. Soon enough, Sasha disappeared into the woods. I took a few moments to space out at the shoreline and then started to follow her. You wonder how the hentai version would look in the shot? probably very inappropriate and not suitable for the stream ever. But if you want to find out, Ty, there's a link in the somewhere that does the things the same, or it's just the same. Cut! Sasha immediately dashed back from behind the trees. So, how is it? Excellent. Perfect. If only you could perform like this every time, on the first take, then we would have it all finished in time. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, good. You're saying it like we're not gonna make it on time, I noted skeptically. We'll make it, you bet. Hentai patch only adds closed CGS's, black ones. Sounds fun. Ahem, what do you mean, that's all? Masha suddenly appeared next to me as if out of nowhere. You wanted something else? We've spent like 3 hours in preparation for only 1 minute of footage? It's cinema. Cinema, you know? Art. One can be hunting a single shot for years. One could keep shooting a 5-minute movie for decades. Olga looked particularly funny, waving her arms like that. Sure, mumbled Masha in a wasted voice. That's it? Yeah, that's it for tonight. Then good night, everyone. She threw that piece of reflector cloth onto the ground and hastened off toward the camp. I quickly mumbled my goodbyes to everyone, grabbed a script printout, and rushed after her. Hey! It was at the square that I caught up with her. Oh, now what do you want? A look of extreme fatigue was on Masha's face. Maybe you want to take a short walk before you head off to sleep. Why would I? She glanced at me, apparently misunderstanding me. Well, it's still so early. I bet you wouldn't even think of going to sleep at this time in the city. In the city? This isn't the city here, you know. Here 3 days count for 1. What? Oh, come on, it's still early. Oh, fine. She gave me a bright look and smiled. Just not for too long. You gonna go grab something to drink and eat? Be right back. All right, Ty. We'll still be here. Ma'am, yes, ma'am. Why do you carry that all the time? She pointed at the stack of paper I held in my hands. Oh, you never know what might happen. Shortly thereafter, we arrived at the beach. What a lovely moon. It is nice. Masha started to strip and dash off toward the river. I don't know what I was expecting because she had a bikini on under that pioneer uniform of hers. Fascinated, I stared as she paddled her legs in the water, which caused ripples to splash around her. So you're still able to have fun, I shouted. She threw me an offended look, came closer and sat down next to me. Yeah, it's like recently you all think that I'm just an old hag. Of course you're not, but you're still one hell of a moaner. I guess I have my reasons. Not sure, I don't see any particular ones. Masha got up and moved several feet away from me. Oh, come on. Don't come on me. It's just... one can't be such a what? You never see anything. She put her head down on her knees and added quietly, and you never understand. Yeah, that's me. Cold-hearted, dumb and dull. Masha gave a barely audible laugh. Blech. Yeah, exactly. Let's go swimming. It's cold in there. It won't take long. Oh, okay. The water was surprisingly warm, so indeed we were hardly going to freeze. I sat down at the towel that somebody had left behind and took a deep breath of the soft night air. Aww, isn't this nice? Masha lay in front of me and rested her head on my lap. Am I disturbing you? Not at all. I just felt kinda tired. She looked straight into my eyes, but I averted her gaze. Why can't it all be the same as before? How so? Come on. That was a joint decision, you know. But nevertheless, she put her arms around my waist and I felt even more ill at ease. Why have we come here in the first place? To shoot a movie. I tried to put it off with a jest. Still, if it wasn't for you, I would have never gone to this college in the first place. We could have already... She sighed. But now, I still think that digging up the past in this context is hardly a good idea. You might think so. As for me, I still think that we shouldn't have. But you were the one who wanted it in the first place. I never wanted it, said Masha resentfully. Oh yeah, so it was me who insisted? Yes, it was you. She turned away, but didn't get off of me. You're always like that. You don't like this, you don't like that. Why can't you just adopt to a simpler approach to life? Take a look around. It's a splendid summer. It's a beautiful night. Lap. Yeah, nice lap scene. We're shooting a remarkable movie. In fact, everything's great. Do you really believe all that yourself? Your question was indeed one worth asking. I do, kind of. It's not like everything's always ideal. But what's so bad about it? Everything is bad. What? Oh. She seemed ready to burst into tears. The stupid camp, the script of yours, everything is bad, and you're not a child anymore. You could have already started a family, gotten a job. Hey, we discussed it all like 1,000 times. Yeah, and broke up exactly because of that. Oh, they were together at some point. Oh. That was your call, mine, precisely because of your everything is bad attitude. Oh, but you go like everything's great to make up for that. For a couple that's broken up, they're pretty close. I mean, would your ex-girlfriend lie on your lap? No. Well, maybe, but no. Only fools rejoice about everything around them. I'm not rejoicing, or rather, I'm rejoicing about things that are worth rejoicing about. I like my work. I find pleasure in films. Do I really? So that means you didn't find pleasure in me? She got up and leaned against my chest. Ahem, maybe we shouldn't? What's the matter? Don't you want to? I couldn't make up my mind on how I should reply. On the one hand, I didn't want to open old wounds, but on the other hand, I clearly understood that I'm not in a position to refuse. And by now I didn't care if someone who might not be sleeping might see us. But why? What comes after? Who cares? Well, in that case... The gleaming moonlight reflecting in the water droplets on her bare skin, the sticky sand, the chill of the summer night, and the heat of her body. Heavy breathing and gasps of pleasure. Everything passed in one brief moment. Guess it's time to sleep. Hentai scene. Was this the hentai scene that was patched or whatever? Well, I'm glad it was patched. That would have been I'm sure you guys would have loved it. But not me. It's not my kind of thing. Oh, yep, it was. Oh boy. Well, it's over. It's over now. We should be fine from now on. Guess it's time to sleep. Close your eyes, guys. All kids in the audience, close your eyes. It's gonna be a rough day tomorrow. Olga will definitely push us hard. It's private. No problem. I was slowly buttoning my shirt as I watched Masha dressing. I don't want to sleep alone, she murmured quietly. What, afraid of the grasshoppers? It's not the grasshoppers. It's the crickets, and I'm not afraid of them. Give me 2 seconds, guys. My glasses like to get crap on the lenses. I can see perfectly now, and I'm not afraid of them. She averted her gaze and blushed a little. It's just, well, unusual. You might have got used to it, but given the amount of time, I suddenly thought that there's nothing wrong with this idea, especially given everything that's happened. Okay, but where? Masha gave me a questioning look. There are a couple of unoccupied cabins reserved for further scenes. Well, we could use these props for a while, I guess. Let's go. She smiled, got up and took my arm, and we slowly headed to the square. Ex-girlfriends, let's have sex. Woo! God. Hey, this room's pretty nice. There's an anime chick on the one side there. An irresistibly blinding morning glare struck my eyes. I wasn't able to stretch. Masha was sleeping on my left arm. Yep, ex-couple. I barely managed to pull my limb from under her head and massaged it for a long time, trying to restore the blood flow. Scratching my stubble, I reached for my shorts to find my cigarettes. Perhaps we shouldn't have gone to that far yesterday after all. Now she definitely won't leave me alone. Well, probably not. That's not in her nature. But a bad aftertaste will still remain. And now she has an argument to scold me with. If I had just give her one chance to. Yet another argument. It's not like she's short on them. Unable to find the cigarettes in my shorts, I thought that I might have left them behind in my cabin, so I clumsily dressed and went outside. Oh Lord, let it rain at last. It's impossible to work in such an oven. And it's like this day and night, night and day. Rubbing my eyes, I plodded down the trail and didn't notice somebody coming until they ran right into me. It was Rooter, or Electronic, but his name is Rooter now. Hi Semyon. Hi there. I shouted after him. Finally, I came to the cabin, opened the door, and entered. Click, click. Olga was inside. She drilled me with her gaze. Would you care to explain? What's the matter? Where did you spend the whole night? Hello, Crystal Sup. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Hope you are good. She looked more than menacing. And welcome back, Ty. Welcome back. I was with Masha, and what's the problem? After all, everyone got it already, so it makes absolutely no sense to hide it. Who with who? Olga gave me a surprised glance. With Masha, I repeated calmly. We don't have any Mashas here. Now it's my turn to be surprised. We restarted your server PC for the first time since the Pixelmon server began. Wow, Ty, that's pretty ballsy. Think you can? That's all I can say. Think you can. I couldn't think of anything clever there. Semyon, your behavior is unbecoming of a true pioneer. Are we shooting it already? But where are the cameras? I grinned. Semyon! Oh, come on! I headed to my bed and opened the drawer. However, my backpack wasn't there. Have you seen my backpack? Miku route? Yep, this is the Miku route. And things are very normal here. Olga is in character, and we're gonna shoot a couple scenes, and it's gonna be fun. A backpack? She looked at me in surprise. Yeah, it was here, but you arrived here without any luggage. What? I broke into a silly smile. And I still haven't finished yet. Olga, I get it that you're the finest of moods this morning, and you have an eagerness to joke around, but how can I feel fine when a pioneer, a future Komsomol member, is acting like that? Julia Root the best? We're not there yet, but we will be. We will be. In time. A long time. A pioneer? A Komsomol member? Something is definitely going wrong. Olga, have you slept well? Are you okay? How dare you speak to me like that? Ahem. Oh, what's your problem? To sum it up, you need to be at the lineup in half an hour. As for me, I still need to find Miku. Bet he didn't recover from the previous strange things? No, probably not. Miku? It looks like they just want to play a prank on us. Ma'am, yes ma'am. I saluted and marched out of the cabin. I have to go and tell Masha. Share some laughter with her. I vigorously pushed the cabin's door open and ran in. Masha, you won't believe what they've... Olga is camp leader again. Yes, she is. Well, no, she's just acting. You know, it's all an act. They're all acting. They're very good. Masha was sitting on the corner of a bed with an absolute pale face, wrapping her arms around her legs. What happened? I leapt to her side. Lena just came in. Lena? But she wasn't planning to come for after 3 days. It wasn't our Lena. This. It was just something that looked like her. Masha was trembling, and an expression of horror was on her face. Calm down, let's take it slowly. She was talking about some kind of lineup, cleaning up the grounds, about the library, about the music club. Her breathing became rapid. And it wasn't a joke, I'm sure of it. I recalled the recent conversation with Olga at once. Okay, calm down, I still haven't got a thing. It wasn't our Lena, it was the Lena from your script. She raised her tear-filled eyes to me. I understood right away that this wasn't a joke, and my courage vanished. That's ridiculous, it just can't be. Though, recalling the conversation with the director, No, I'm sure. She threw herself into my arms. I tried to calm her down. We have to think logically. It's just them trying to pull a prank on us. That's all. I was just talking to Olga, and she what? Also looked unusual to me? Nah, I can't just say that to Masha. In the end, they will have their laugh and then quit it. No, something has happened. Something horrible. I'm sure of it. Masha was sobbing in my arms. Okay, let's get down to it. Let's talk to someone. For example, to Rooter. He surely isn't the main stand-up comedian in our hood. To tell the truth, at this point I was interested myself in finding out what kind of joke this was. One that can bring Masha, who was always calm and prepared for everything, to hysterics. Okay. She wiped away her tears and got up from the bed. Calm down now? I'm trying. Masha smiled faintly. Let's go. We left the cabin. Where to? Olga was talking about some kind of a lineup. Let's go to the square. Most likely they will be there. Masha took my hand, but let it go right away. I chose not to look in her direction because I already knew what expression she had on her face, and just headed to the square. Dots. The lineup, if that is the right term for people flocking around the monument, was quite crowded. I didn't recognize even half of the people gathered here, and that fact was extremely strange on its own. Olga tried to line them all up. I chose not to linger and went up to her. Olga, you know... Oh, and Miku is here too. She interrupted me. Excellent. We'll talk after the lineup. What lineup are you talking about? Isn't that enough playing games? For God's sake, it's not funny anymore. She looked at me in confusion. What are you talking about? About that? Masha cautiously looked out from behind my back. Olga, it really isn't funny anymore. I don't understand you two. Let's seriously get back to the shooting. What shooting? I looked at her attentively and for the first time realized that perhaps she wasn't joking. Olga was never a decent actress, so I doubt that this expression of surprise and incomprehension was fake. What a mess. Okay, let's assume. Tell us your version. Version of what? She was still blinking her eyes while looking at my mouth. I got it. I grabbed Masha by her arm and headed away from the square. Hey, hold on. Where are you going? We have to find someone less insane. Olga's shouts followed us, but I didn't pay any attention. Soon enough, we reached the clubhouse. According to the script, it ought to be right here. Let's go. Masha didn't reply, just followed my lead. I opened the door abruptly and walked in. Rooter was there, as I had expected. What's happening? Oh, Semyon, and you're not alone. Hi there, have you come to join our club? It seemed like there was something wrong with him, too. Why aren't you at the lineup? I asked mischievously. Ahem. Well, I've got something to finish here. Whatever, just tell us what's going on here. Am I missing something? Just like Olga, he stared at me with no sign of understanding. Why the heck is everyone around acting like we're real pioneers in a real pioneer camp? Isn't that the case? Is it? Well, actually. And what about the film? What film? The film, the one we're filming. Semyon, I really don't understand what you are talking about. It's only now that I realize that everyone around is calling me Semyon. Well, Sasha was always calling me Semyon-kun too, but that was clearly a joke. While here, it's not a big thing, but my name is definitely not Semyon. I stepped back in horror and tripped over Masha. She let out a short scream. And you, Miku. I wasn't listening. I snatched Masha's hand and ran out. I managed to halt only at the bus stop. As I turned around, I saw Masha gasping for breath. I let go of her hand and sat down at the edge of the road. Looks like the two of us are in trouble. Don't you get it? Everyone around here behaves exactly the same as it was written in my script. She stared blankly at me for some time. Excuse me. Then she recovered. Yeah, a fair guess. But why? But what? Why? Like I would know. So what are we going to do? I don't know. Masha was at the edge of bursting into tears. Oh, stop it. I really have no idea. How can I come up with a ready-made solutions in this situation? I understand, but... After all, there was still a possibility of all of it being just a silly joke. Well, an overdone one. Well, what if... What if? Then we'll just act in accordance with the circumstances. I sighed and quickly stood up. Let's go eat something at least. I think that whatever is happening here, food will still be served. Masha gave a barely noticeable smile and followed me. The canteen was jam-packed. Even at the lineup, I noticed there were many more people here than there were yesterday. Did all these children really come here to an abandoned camp? No, there's something really wrong about that. However, food was being distributed, so me and Masha took trays and sat down separately from the others. I ate intently, trying not to raise my head up from the plate and not to look at the surrounding people. However, it didn't help me much. A couple of minutes, someone showed up near our table. I barely managed to raise my eyes and saw Lena. "Can I?" she asked quietly. "Yeah, suit yourself." While I was thinking as to how I should answer, Masha pulled out a chair beside her and invited Lena to sit down with a gesture. "You weren't yourself this morning," she began anxiously. "Well, got up on the wrong side of the bed." Masha laughed nervously. Lena glanced at me and then quickly looked away. "So how's it going?" I started with more general questions. "Fine." "I see." I genuinely had no idea what we can discuss with her. Plus, Lena indeed looked pretty odd. While she was usually all fun and high spirits, now she looked extremely timid and shy. "Did you hear anything about Slavia? What happened?" "Well, nobody had seen her since yesterday. It's like you two disappeared first. Now you are here, but Slavia is..." She left long pauses after each of her sentences. I still didn't get it. It's either it's completely perfect acting, or the being sitting in front of us wasn't our Lena. "Nope, we haven't seen her." "Well, I know that she will be back eventually." "Yeah, we hope so too." Slavia. Sasha indeed could lose her way in broad daylight. That's hardly surprising. I was just finishing eating the rubber-like oatmeal when suddenly Olga ran into the canteen, waving her hands. She looked around emotionless, and after a glance at me, she finally headed toward our table at a fast walk. "Oh, here you are. Let's go have a talk," she hissed below her breath right at my face. Seems that objecting wasn't worth it, so I got up, nodded to Masha, and we headed after Olga. After we got outside, she turned around abruptly and said, "So, where were you last night?" "Should you care?" I shrugged. "I should. Did you know that Slavia is missing?" "Just heard that from Lena." "Exactly. I went searching for her and found her." It looked like she was desperately fighting back tears. "That's good news then. Come, let me show you," she said quietly and headed in the direction of the forest. I looked at Masha. Maybe we shouldn't. What's wrong with it? However, my inner voice was agreeing with her. "All right then, but I'm afraid." "I'm afraid." She's afraid, guys. "Everything will be fine." I tried smiling, but even without a mirror, it was obvious that my smile was so fake that it made me sick. Oh man, soon enough we came to a small glade. "There," Olga pointed at a tree. Excuse me? Why is it, red?" 21 plus content, yeah, I guess. I took a few steps and suddenly spotted a detached human arm. Oh my gosh. Is this it, guys? Is this the scary? Are we in scary zone now? In fact, it wasn't even detached. More like it had been torn off. Masha peered out from behind my shoulder and screamed in terror straight away. "Don't look!" She burst into tears and rushed into Olga's arms. I made a considerable effort. I had to look behind the tree to ensure that it was indeed Slavia. His body parts were lying there. An arm, a leg, ruptured in several places, a piece of flesh from the chest, a head with hair clotted with blood, and deeply sunken, glassy eyes. I felt like vomiting and indistinctly averted my gaze. "So, why is this green but the other scene was red?" "Who did this?" "How would I know?" said Olga in surprisingly stone-cold voice. "Throughout the camp, you're the only ones without an alibi." Masha continued to cry, now on my shoulder. This is intense music, by the way. "What, you seriously think that we were able to do this?" I gazed at her in fury. Now, it didn't matter that much what was happening here. Silly jokes or something more serious. A person had been murdered. A person who we knew. Slavia or Sasha, it makes no difference. "Well, no," she hesitated, "but someone did it after all. I would say some wild animals, probably wolves. There were never any wolves around. So you think a human could have done it? Well, there is no one else to blame." "No, that makes no sense at all. It just can't." I hugged Masha tighter. Her sobbing became quieter. Bleh. "Anyway, we have to call the police." "Of course we have to. Let's go." Yeah, guess what? There is no police. Sorry. The district center is pretty far from the camp. The police won't get here anytime soon. Night was falling. I was sitting at the square and watching the sunset. Masha was sleeping in Olga's cabin. It all shocked her much more than us, for many reasons. There were two main questions in my mind. First, what is happening here? And second, who murdered Slavia? Or Sasha. Anyway, who's the murderer? The first one could be postponed for the time being, but I still had no clue how to deal with the second one. Despite all the confusion, the conclusion of her being savaged by wild beasts seemed to be the most reasonable explanation. I don't care if there are any wolves here or not. It could even be a bear or a badger, but certainly not a human. No one would be able to do something like that without additional tools, and the types of wounds made it clear that the unfortunate victim had been dismembered with bare hands, or paws. Though it's true enough that the enraged human can gain nearly superhuman strength, but of all the people gathered here, who would be able to do something like that? Ruder, Lena, maybe Olga herself? No, that's stupid. But even so, there were many children apart from them in the canteen and at the square. But am I really going to interrogate every single one of them? That's a job for the police. Then what's there to be afraid of? Maybe I'm not afraid for myself, but for Masha. Right, I need to check how she's doing. I was just about to get up when suddenly I sensed someone's presence. I looked back and saw Lena. Oh, I didn't want to scare you. It's okay. Can I sit here? Yes, sit down, please. She fixed her skirt with a neat move, sat down, and started staring at the sunset. How sad this all is. Yeah, not much to rejoice about. What do you think? Who could have done that? How should I know? Certainly not me. No, it's not like I suspect you or anything. She began waving her hands in a funny manner. Well, thanks for that, I smirked sadly. But that must have been done by a very cruel, very evil person. Well, not necessarily. Lena glanced at me in confusion. Maybe it was a one-off delusion. After all, in everyday life, maniacs can be the nicest of people. So you are saying that... Her eyes widened and her jaw dropped a little. That it could have been done by any one of us? Well, I'm not asserting that, that's for sure. But the circle of suspects is quite large. No, none of the children could do that. No one. Anyway, it's up to the police to deal with it. We spent some more time sitting in silence. I was about to leave when Lena suddenly whispered, Or could you? What? An unnatural grin appeared on her face. Oh, that's a scary face. Don't do that, Lena. A devil's grin, so I thought. Could you have murdered Slavia? Of course not. But you two didn't get along very well. Why do you think so? We were getting along just fine. It suddenly became clear that Lena, most likely, is not talking about me. More precisely, not the me from yesterday. And not the Slavia whose name is Sasha. I was sure about that. No, it wasn't me. Okay, relax. I am not accusing you. She gave me a look, and for a second her eyes seemed red to me. Maybe it was just a reflection of the sunset. I'm glad you got everything right. But it was you who said that everyone is worth suspecting. I didn't tell you to suspect everyone. I meant that we don't know who the criminal is. Yet. Oh, I see. Well, I hope I don't become the next victim, Lena said loudly and burst out laughing. The way she did it gave me the creeps. Okay, it's time to go. She got up and swiftly left the square. I chose not to linger and headed to Olga's cabin. Boy. I'm gonna get a quick drink, guys. Hold the phone. Oh, man. Lena is strange. Yes, she is. Lena is a little scary right now. This whole game just got scary. Masha was still sleeping, so I decided not to wake her and quietly climbed in next to her. Our director, or the camp leader, as the local residents kept referring to her, was still nowhere to be seen. If she enters now, it will all get very uncomfortable. Well, it might at the very least. Anyway, who cares? A person has been murdered. It's not the time for such trifles. And anyway, we still have to find out what's going on. Why does everyone keep acting like they are pioneers? It seems to me that until it becomes clear who the real criminal is, this whole ridiculous carnival won't stop. The real question was, what is the cause and what is the effect? Either everyone keeps pretending because Slavia was murdered. I still couldn't accept that Sasha was the victim, so I kept telling myself that it was indeed Slavia. Back from lurking, you guess? Was it scary, and what did you miss? Slavia is dead. She is in pieces right now. So, no, you didn't miss much. And we saw body pieces. Or Slavia was killed because everyone keeps pretending. Damn it, I got lost entirely, and such brainstorming is not going to get me anywhere. The door creaked faintly. Cautiously, I rose on my elbows a bit and peered into the darkness. A few torturous moments passed, but ultimately, no one came in. Well, I guess it's no use to just lie down and wait. Right now, it's probably just the wind blowing or something like that. But this late at night, when everyone is asleep, I stood up, grabbed my trousers in the dark, and looked around. It was hardly probable that I might find something that could be used as a means of self-defense here. Sounds fun, Ty? Oh, yeah. But I at least had to give it a try. Rummaging through the cabin's contents, I stumbled across a locked drawer inside the cabinet. Sure, I'd love to find a gun, or at least some kind of a heavy crowbar there. However, I totally understood that I really shouldn't hold my breath for one. But it had to be locked for a reason. I pushed the cabinet from the wall, estimated where exactly on the back side that drawer was, and gave it a sharp and precise, so I would not make Masha up, kick with my leg. The plywood cracked, and something spilled forth from the drawer. Underwear. More underwear. Matches. Oh, they might just come in handy. I shoved the matchbox into my pocket, and at the same moment I heard some strange noises from outside the door, as if some wild animal was scratching on it. Go back to lurking? Oh, you should watch, Ty, though. Watch more carefully. Like lurk and watch at the same time. 'Cause things are gonna get good. I have a feeling now. Surely if that is the real criminal, I won't stand a chance against him. But one shouldn't shrug off the possibility that it was the work of a local pioneer. But Portal 2? But Portal 2! It's fine. You can do what you wish, Ty. Everyone here can do what they wish. That's the beauty of it. Who may have gone crazier, who was just insane from the start. Anyway, I should still be able to knock out any of the local residents, even if he came at me with a knife. Thinking about a weapon gave me the creeps. No, I shouldn't be so overconfident. If I get into an encounter with someone who is, for example, armed with a knife, then I must shut the door, barricade all entrances, and wait for help. You probably couldn't get a hold of a firearm here. Although... The door creaked once more and opened up about an inch. I closed my eyes for a second and violently pulled it open, gathering all my strength. I heard a choked scream and saw Alyssa spread dangled on the doorstep. Oh, it's just you. I heaved a sigh of relief. Don't scare people like that. Want me to give me a heart attack? What? Want me to give me a heart attack? She got up, dusted her clothes off slowly, and glanced at me guiltily. I'm sorry. It's fine. It could be dangerous to walk alone around the camp during the night. What with all the stuff that's happening? I stopped short. Happening implies an ongoing process. As if something was going to happen. Happen. That's why I came here. Alyssa was looking at the ground, trembling. It's already late, but Olyana is still nowhere to be seen. Oh yeah, we haven't seen Olyana yet, have we? She raised her eyes to me, and I saw tears running down her cheeks. Where could she have gone? It wasn't like I was really concerned, but I asked because I felt like I had to calm the situation. It was perfectly clear that there's absolutely nothing to do at this camp at night. If there's electricity available, then everyone watches movies on their laptops. If not, then they just read books by the candlelight. Can you stop fidgeting, by the way, Alyssa? Wandering under the moon shouldn't be on that list. I don't know. Okay, let's think through it without any fuss. I walked over to the table and picked up the clock. It's midnight. Sure, everyone should be already at their cabins by this time. A scary thought suddenly flashed through my mind. Where's Olga? Let's go outside and talk there. We don't want us to wake up Miku. As we went out, I took a place by the stairs and started to think. Alyssa stood beside me, wringing her hands with such a pained look on her face as she watched the full moon rise. We have to call the police. We've already called them. But back then it was only Slavia, and now it's also Ilyana. And Olga, have you seen her? No, but what, is she too? Alyssa burst into tears. We still don't know anything, but nevertheless, it's clear that something's going on here. Even if they're not just pretending to be pioneers and something really has happened to the world. Right now, I could have quite a good chance of departing from it without getting any answers for my questions. So we have to focus on survival. Survival. The word hit like a sharp pain to the back of the head. Survival. Just yesterday I didn't need to give the slightest consideration to anything like that. The quiet summer night was raining over everything around us. Not a breath of wind, not a rustle of grass or a whisper of moving leaves could be heard. Nothing. Just the reflection of the moonlight in the cabin's windows, sparse clouds up in the sky, and yet impenetrable darkness all around. They say that when you gaze into the abyss also gazes into you. And the grasshoppers, those damn critters, are pulling a double shifting of DJing, as if they're consistently on duty. As the day shift winds up, the night shift, who got enough sleep, begins. Then the night ones knock it off and have to find some insecticide after all. At least it can wipe out a couple of divisions. With any luck, that would get me some quiet living space around this cabin. Sure, I can't destroy them all. What the heck, there are probably more of them than there are humans in the entire world. Duh. Can you hear it? Alyssa sat down and huddled against me. Her entire body was trembling. What? I strained my ears. It seemed that somebody was slowly walking down the path to our cabin. I couldn't make anything out in the dark, but the steps grew more and more audible with every second. Okay, don't sweat it. He won't dare to attack the two of us. Although I wasn't really sure about that. My hands instinctively started to search for something I could use to defend myself. Use the bike there. Hey, sorry. Soon enough I found a piece of water pipe underneath the bench. Why, it's not much help, of course. It's way too thick and uncomfortable to wield properly. But it's still better than going out empty-handed. The mere sight of this monstrosity would make anyone pee themselves. Most likely from laughter. There's nothing I can do. We're as good as sitting ducks here, so I'd rather move out toward the enemy. I couldn't say that I was bursting with courage and valor. In fact, it was quite the opposite. I was really freaking out. It just seemed like I had no other choice. I took a deep breath and slowly headed into the darkness. Soon enough I could make out more features of the stranger's silhouettes. Not very tall, weird hairstyle, a skirt. That ought to be Lena. I lowered my guard. What are you doing here this late at night? Lena's face was stained with tears. Come on. I led her to Alyssa. As Lena was coming back to her senses, she tried to explain what happened. I was just sitting alone, and it's already quite late, but Miku's still missing. Yet and what happened to Slavia, and I still couldn't reconcile this image of Lena, a sobbing girl sitting in front of me, with the one that I saw at the square a few hours ago, with the grin of the devil and hellish flames in her eyes. Maybe it was just my imagination, or maybe not. By any chance, do you know where Ilyana and Olga are? She raised her surprised eyes to me. No, why? Are they also missing? Well, so far we can't be sure. Semyon. At first I didn't realize that she was addressing me. Huh? Don't you think that it's way too quiet in the camp? It's night. Everyone's sleeping, aren't they? I strained my ears. Indeed, there was no sound besides these damn grasshoppers. I mean, no sounds whatsoever. What is this place usually like? Quiet, whispered Lena. Quiet, but not this quiet. I couldn't let girls fall into panic, although I was starting to freak out myself. Yet there were a lot of reasons to. Humans disappearing into thin air, horrible murders, friends that pretend to be the pioneers until the very end. I was ready to lose it. Okay, let's think rationally. The girls gave me a few question looks. People can't just disappear without a trace. That means... Nope, it doesn't mean anything. Suddenly we heard a rustle in the bushes behind the cabin. Ah! Before I could even grab my pipe, Rooter emerged from the darkness. Ah, here you are. He didn't seem to be all that concerned by all the stuff happening around. Oh, Lord, stop jumping out at people like that. These girls are going to have a heart attack at this rate. Although I wasn't sure who was more frightened, them or me. Yeah, I apologize. Why have you come? Have you seen Shurik? We haven't. It looked like half of the camp just disappeared in the last few hours. Plus, it's too quiet around here. We noticed that already. There's no lights anywhere. Dead silence. Oh, don't you start whipping up the tension here. I feel sick already. What am I doing? I'm not doing anything. He flashed a mysterious smile that gave me the creeps. Oh, you stay... Okay, you stay here and I'm gonna scout around the camp. Alone? Yeah, that probably wasn't exactly the brightest idea. I have to think first, then speak. Ahem. I'll go with you. Okay, then you just stay here, and don't forget that Miku is still sleeping in the cabin. Sir, yes, sir. What a dork. If he gave me that dopey smile in any other situation. Quick question, guys, to anyone who's here who knows this game. How much more of this chapter is there, out of curiosity? Should I keep streaming, or should I, like save it for, for tomorrow? Whew, because I am out of breath. Infinite time? Ha 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 ha. A lot. Should I stream the rest tomorrow, or should I keep going? Because this is a lot of text right now. A lot of text. Excuse me. Our search brought us to the square. All the cabins were empty. It looks like there are only 5 of us. Keep going, you say? Alright. 5 of us left in the camp. I limped along with that pipe of mine. It appeared to be so lightweight at first. After carrying it for some time, I've learned that one can get worn out even carrying a bag of feathers. Where on earth is everyone? Alyssa appeared to be more or less calm. The horror of the first minutes when we were going from one empty cabin to another had already passed. Well, at least we can be sure that it's not the same case as whatever happened to Slavia. Why is that? Just think, where are the bodies? I said it in a whisper, fearful of scaring her. But where is everyone then? Disappeared? Hardly a credible explanation. But if you think about it, nothing whatsoever that's happened during the last 24 hours has been credible. They couldn't just go and just like that. It's not like anything's up to us now. And in any case, tomorrow is still another day. I tried to put on a smile. Let's rejoin the others. Yeah, agreed. Agreed Alyssa with a hint of indecisiveness. We'd only taken a few steps when a rustle in the bushes came from behind. I instantly turned around and peered toward the source of the sound. Alyssa clung to my hand so hard it hurt. I tightened my grip on the pipe. Who's there? Probably a friend, right? Friend? We're gonna see a friend? No idea. I strained my eyes, but I still couldn't make out anything in the darkness. Hey! I had no idea what to do next. The rustling suddenly cut off, and the night returned to just the usual cricket fiddling. Ooh. Could it be some wild animal? I wondered with a feeling of insecurity. Wild animal? She gripped my hand even tighter. But there are no wild animals around here. A squirrel, for example? I don't know. A squirrel? Yeah, a squirrel. Well, maybe. Shall we go? Yeah. A minute later, we were approaching Olga's cabin. Rooter and Lena remained silent and just shuddered slightly when they saw us. So, how is it? No one out there. What do you mean, no one? Everyone's gone, said Alyssa through her tears. There. The girls rushed into each other's arms, and I sat down next to Rooter, finally dropping that abhorrent pipe of mine to the ground. It's just that simple? Just that simple. But how? I really don't know. Maybe it's an alien abduction? What nonsense. Want to play Detective Sherlock? Well, it could be the same maniac. It's kind of way too much for just one man, don't you think so? I guess you're right, but who? What is it then? It still could turn out to be just a stupid prank. And Slavia too? That's all just a stupid prank? No, she was definitely murdered by someone. But who? He gave me a narrow gaze. I have no idea. Maybe it was you. I was starting to get wound up. Or you. Not me for sure. How can you prove it? Why on earth should I have to explain myself to you? You're the only one without an alibi. Ah, so you do have an alibi, eh? I was in my cabin at night. Shurik can prove it. Sure, but Shurik's temporarily unavailable. Rudder gritted his teeth and turned away. Anyway, I'm the one with an alibi here. I am not going to justify myself here. I'm sure about myself. It's great to believe in yourself, but I'm also sure about myself, and Miku can prove me right. I was with her all this time. Not exactly the best witness. Just as good as yours. I have no idea how long we could have argued like that if Lena hadn't intervened in the conversation. Boys, come on, that's enough. You're right. Sorry. Yeah, indeed. Now is not the best time for something like... But... No buts. Nobody else tried to object, and we entered the cabin quietly. What's happening? Seems like we woke Masha up. It's okay, keep sleeping. But she was already sitting up on the bed, staring blankly at our little party. Well, you see, they're all gone. Disappeared. Everyone's gone. Lena burst into tears and flung her arms around Masha's neck. What? What's going on? Can you speak clearly? Well, long story short, I cracked my neck and compulsively reached for the cigarettes in my pocket. Finding none, I heaved a sigh of frustration and said, It looks like there's just 5 of us left in this camp, meaning everyone in this room. Rejoice, Captain Obvious has returned. You're gonna keep first watch. Eh? Oh, nothing. Do you really think it's safe for everyone to sleep at the same time? Well, it isn't, but... Exactly. I handed him the pipe and slowly approached the bed where Lena was still sobbing in Masha's arms. Well, if you don't mind... I slipped my boots off, climbed over the girls, and turned toward the wall. But how... Anyhow, sleep. I was so exhausted, both physically and, more importantly, emotionally, that I was unable to do anything, think anything, communicate with anybody. I was desperate to get some sleep. Way too desperate. Motherfucker. I mean, friends. Friendship. La 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 la. Are we live right now? Are we live? If we're not live, then stream is over. If we are live still, then we can keep going. Wow, what a time for the stream to break, huh? I think we're good. Are we good, guys? Alright. Chat is not working now, so that's great. That's cool, guys. Alright, everyone in chat, say something if you can, if we're live. Are we live? I think we're live now, guys. Be right back. Let me check something. Let me do a checky check. Okay, we are good. Oh, we're live. Oh boy. Way too desperate. The stream is way too desperate. Seriously, everyone who knows this game, how much longer for this chapter? Because once the stream starts breaking, then it means that I've been streaming for too long. Is it like 30 minutes left? 15 minutes left? I need an answer right now. If it's more than an hour, then I gotta stop here. If it's less than an hour, then I'll keep going. Whew. I am somewhat out of breath, too. 40? Screw it. You know what? Just screw it. Let's go. Let's go, guys. Dots. I was forcibly awoken by someone doing their best to shake me. Physically shaking me, that is. Ruder was leaning over me and nudging my shoulder. What? It's your turn now. How long have I slept? Almost an hour. Only an hour. Stay on your watch. I've already dozing off. Yeah, an infinite power source won't hurt for our Ruder. Won't hurt for me too. I'll try to read a bit faster. Oh, fine. I rose with considerable effort, climbing over Lena. I got it. The room seemed slightly brighter. The morning's coming. Yeah. Ruder tried to get to my place, but I grabbed him by the collar, threw him down on the floor, and gave him a blanket and a pillow. So you can, and you cannot. Come to think about it, why can't he? Anyway, it's not that important now. I took the chair, dragged it to the door, and sat down and started to wait. So everyone in chat, now that the stream is kind of breaking, can you all let me know if the stream pauses, like at any time? If you can let me know, that would be very, very nice of you. Anticipation seemed to be the best word to describe what I was feeling. Any moment now the door will burst open and a maniac will break into the room, or at last residents of this camp will disappear, or I will disappear. In any case, something will happen. I deeply felt that. Ruder was snoring his head off, the girls were sleeping securely, and I was starting to doze off too. I clenched the pipe harder. The feeling of cold metal against my bare skin somehow brought me back to my senses. I must not sleep. I'm their only hope now, and my own too. But it's so hard to resist. Just a couple of minutes. My eyes seem to have a life of their opening and closing spontaneously as my mind wandered. A rustling came from behind the door. No, I must have imagined that. It's just those damn grasshoppers. What are they still up to? Maybe it's the grasshoppers to blame. They fell upon the camp like a swarm of locusts. Devoured everybody. I'll decide if the stream breaks one more time, then that'll be the end. I'll just end it there. We'll continue tomorrow. But we're gonna keep going, guys. A vision of me being devoured by grasshoppers unfolded in my mind. A disgusting storm was brewing in my head. Their long legs, their wings, a huge head, and the eyes filled with darkness. Eyes reflecting the abyss. Just look a grasshopper in the eye, and you'll never be the same again. That's how it happens. I'm running away, and they are after me. There are thousands of them. Millions. Yeah, I got it. Just a nightmare. Teeth anyway. Flap the horrible wings. Sonic waves. No! Just can't block out the hellish noise anymore. I'm falling! Desperately trying to cover my ears. Please stop it! Somebody! Morning. I was woken by a sharp pain in the back of my head. Opening my eyes, I realized that I was lying sprawled on the floor. It looked like I fell asleep and slipped off my chair. It was 9 o'clock. God damn it, it looks like I was sleeping for 5 hours straight. Anything could have happened. Horrified, I patted myself down, and everything seemed to be in its place. That was close. I shook her squat awake. My turn already? You sleep too much. Well, I've been sitting here all night long. Sure, that was a lie, but telling them that I spent the night running for my life from the grasshoppers definitely wasn't an option. I'm sorry. Ruder hung his head. Don't worry about it. Oh, I'm hungry as hell. Masha stretched out and gave me a cute smile. And why are you all here? Don't you remember anything? Nope, what's the matter? Everyone's gone, said Alyssa gloomily. Say what? Everyone's gone. Vanished into thin air. Masha glanced out of window and said nothing. Seemed like she remembered now. Well, getting something to eat is indeed a fine idea. Nobody was going to object. It's not like I was in the mood to eat, same as everyone else, but ultimately everyone knew that we had to keep ourselves running. Soon enough we were sitting in the canteen, quietly digging into whatever we could find. Want me to cook something? Inquired Masha quietly. Let's wait for lunch. For now, it's fine. She gave me a disappointed look. Okay, so what are we gonna do? We have to get out of here. But the police! We have to get out of here, I repeated stubbornly. But how? Bus. It's highly unlikely that one will come. It doesn't run too often. Oh, man. Let me get a quick drink. Who's still here, by the way? Show of hands. If no one's here, then I'm definitely gonna end the stream now. Ty is here somehow. Gamer is here. Thank you all. Thank you all for sticking by me through this troubling time in my period of life. Timetable. I tried to remember if I've ever seen the bus map or its timetable somewhere. Probably not. Then we'll go on foot. Anything's better than staying here. But it's a long way to. Well, we might hitch a lift. Here, in the middle of nowhere? I doubt that. Oh, stop with that drama. Although thinking about it, it's exactly the right time for drama. I'm not being dramatic, but that's it. End of story. And Kurisoro is here as well. Thank you all. Thank you so much for sticking by me. Yeah. We'll tell them the truth. We came to shoot a movie and then... What movie? Okay, stop fooling around, will you? I buried my face into my hands, feeling run down. Even if it was kind of funny yesterday, although it really wasn't, you can stop it now. I don't get you. Oh, you're still going to keep on pretending that you came here not to shoot a movie, but to roleplay as a pioneer. I don't understand a thing. Alyssa swept her surprised gaze across everyone. But we are pioneers. What pioneers, for God's sakes? Masha, who had kept silent so far, butted in. It's the 21st century out there. Yeah, right, pioneers. Mr. You're still here. Yep, you're still here. I know you. Don't worry. I'm TZ Gamer. 20. First? Looks like we're indeed in a deep mess. So, you're all gonna say that you are, well, we are, normal pioneers who just came here on vacation for a week or two, or so? A heavy silence followed. Well, yes. I cast a look at Masha. It looks like she doesn't know how to react either. I signaled to her, pointing at the door. Excuse us for a second. Having gone outside, I asked, what do you think? Well, she adopted the pose of the ancient Greek thinker. It looks like they genuinely believe that. And some folks, named Semyon and Miku, were in our shoes until yesterday. Some? Well, I guess you're more familiar with them than I am. Oh, come on, I interrupted her. Couldn't you come up with a more feasible theory? I still have absolutely no theories at all. I no longer know what to think. Me neither. I know, there's so much going on, guys. We're stuck in a camp, we were shooting a movie, and now murders are happening. All hell is breaking loose here, even without taking pioneers into account. Murders. Dozens of people disappearing without a trace. That ought to be our top priority right now. I look closely at Masha. I wonder how she can keep such a cool head under these circumstances. Sure, I'm trying to keep calm, but... That means... What? Let's leave this issue for later. But at least a wild guess? I guess it's somehow connected to the disappearances. It's safe to assume that one, or even two or three, humans couldn't deal with so many people at once. Agreed. It might be that this phenomenon somehow affected them. Might be. Anyway, it's easier to believe that in... easier to believe in that than, for example, that we're in a parallel reality or something. You know, by now I'm willing to believe in anything. Then let's stick to this theory for now. Okay! Let's go. You go ahead. I'll be back in a minute. It's dangerous to be all alone. Seriously, what's so dangerous? Broad daylight and everyone's around here? Okay. She gave me a faint smile and headed back into the canteen. But still, her behavior is also quite odd. It looked like the last few days changed everything and everyone, including Masha. Yesterday, shock, fear, and trembling. Today, cold and sensible reasoning. Damn, she's even more self-assured than me. Could it just be a good sleep? No, there's something wrong with her too. Sure, she doesn't think that she's a pioneer like everyone else does, but still, if something has happened to them, then maybe it also